good kind of bridge to my next question, because you're someone who knows touch from kind of inside out, really, because some hapticians come from mechanical engineering, right? So they understand how to design actuation technology, things like that, but maybe not so in depth the understanding of the touch from inside, right? How it works, all these mechanoreceptors. So now having all this knowledge and this background, from your perspective, what do we still not know about sense of touch, and what should we know to bring, current haptic technology or haptic technology aspirations, I would better even say, closer to realistic perception of touch? Or do we even need realistic perception of touch? Maybe there is some other substitutes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know.
Some people would say, like what you just said at the end, that maybe we don't need to mimic actual touch, that we can play illusions and we can play sort of tricks on the perceptual system, and that might be interesting to do. My feeling is that even though haptics has been a very interdisciplinary field, that there's still kind of a group of folks that are building technologies, and those technologies are using whatever actuation sensing mechanisms are available. And then there's people who are really trying to understand the psychophysics of what should the design requirements be. And I think that we're not talking the same language a lot of times. And the psychophysics experiments need to start to inform directly the building of the equipment. Like, for example, we know that with softness, basically the rate of change of contact area and how the skin is moving, that's a very influential cue in determining, are you perceiving one softness versus another? But we don't have, my group is trying to do this, but we still don't have good measurements on exactly how big should those contact areas be, how fast exactly do they need to change, and how do we need to move the skin to create that perceptual sensation of touching a deformable object. So I think, if we had numbers, if we had, okay, it's this Newton, it's this range of Newtons, it's this, centimeters squared per second of contact area change or so forth like that, then I think it would be a little easier for the designers to start to build equipment to meet those specs related to the fundamentals of human sensation. And I think that's something that we could probably improve on by, better interaction among the researchers.
Basically more precision, right, and kind of standardization that hapticians always talk about, lack of standardization. But you can say that standardization is possible, right? And I assume it is, of course, in some fundamental elements.
I think that it's possible to think about standardization. That's right. But I think how I'm thinking about standardization is I'm thinking about how do you move the skin surface. I'm not thinking about how do you move the actuator. And I think that there's a difference between those two things. The skin is very complicated. It's anisotropic. It's got relaxation characteristics associated with it. It's very nonlinear. There's multiple layers. There's day-to-day changes. That's why I think it's very important to study the skin. There's individual differences.
Exactly. All these contextual elements, as you say, like, I don't know, humidity level or again, level of relaxation, etc. But I guess, yeah, without studying it, we can't even approach closer to this.